Well, hello everyone. When it comes to K-pop, not everything is an instant love. I mean, I'm not that easy. I play hard to get, thank you very much. Wait, wrong kind of joke. So, yeah, over the years, sometimes I might have the wrong first impression to some K-pop songs. With the songs in this video, they initially failed my very, very strict test. But upon a second listen or so, I was like, oh, I think I made a mistake. Here are the songs and my stories with each ones on ones I disliked but now like. Oh, and if you're one of those types that are like, ugh, how dare you hate this song? Hashtag can't relate. You need to leave K-pop. That song slaps. Well, then you need to leave this video. Okay, let's get this video started. First up on my list, EXO's Wolf. Okay, raise your hand if you're into this song because of the chogi-wa. Admit it, there's a lot to take in when it comes to Wolf. That Wolf choreo, the howling, how Chanya wants to put me in his mouth like cheese, and that chogi-wa. It's a lot to take in the first minute of the song. I took a shower, contemplated about it some more, ate some cheese, and then I was like, you know what makes that song great? I mean, besides the obvious chogi-wa, but the vocals really are something. That bridge, man, that vocal climax of Chen and Baekhyun and Dio, it was that moment that I knew Chen was my bias. But yeah, I must admit that this song is super fun to sing at noraebang and karaoke, let's be real. These vocal runs make for an interesting challenge. Next up, Orange Caramel Magic Girl. When I first got into K-pop back in 2010, I learned of all the awesome boy groups covering girl groups for fun. Cross-dressing. That was completely different culture for me, but, you know, it was entertaining. I mean, not that I would do it myself, but, like, hey, if you're having fun, you do you, boo-boo. Anyways, when it came to Magic Girl, I saw so many of the male idols covering it before I even heard the actual song. I was like anti-cute concept back in the day until I finally came around. And then I realized that's what Orange Caramel was about. They were there to put a smile on your face. Make you laugh. I miss that. Can we have those types of concepts again? We need them. Bring back the fuckery concepts. And next one, Boyfriends Don't Touch My Girl. As I mentioned before, when it comes to cute concepts, especially when it comes from the boy groups, I back in the day would typically throw up a little bit in my mouth. Just enough to make me go, oh, hey, there's lunch again. Word of advice, McDonald's doesn't taste good the second time around. Shit, I've gotten off topic again. Anyways, Boyfriend, as name alone, was already difficult for me to say I stand. Which group do you like? I stand Boyfriend! That's a really weird sentence to say to non-K-pop fans. Anyways, when I finally got my head out of my ass and stopped giving a fuck, I realized the awesomeness that is this song. A song made by the 80s music gods that is sweet tuned, it's catchy, super fun, and makes me ignore the fact that the song title alone makes me think of prepubescent high school teenagers fighting over the girl in the school lunchroom. Next one, Big Bang's Tonight. Think too much is simple. Alright, picture it. You got into K-pop the year before, and the legendary Big Bang is finally making their grand comeback after several years. This being your first experience of a Big Bang comeback, expectations are high, right? I mean, they already had Lies, Haru Haru, and Last Farewell, which were all classic songs, some of my favorites till this day. Tonight premieres, and I remember feeling like, oh, acoustic guitar, sophisticated sound. A bed scene? They're mature now. I don't know, I guess I was just expecting chocolate ice cream and I instead got pistachio. I mean, the song is still great and definitely now one of the more underappreciated Big Bang bops now. I grew to love it and I will never forget this comeback as it was part of my early experiences as a relatively fresh K-pop fan back in the day. Next up, Gugudan. Chococo. remember eating lunch watching this one, as I do with most new K-pop MVs, and nearly spitting out my food when I saw this. I literally went, now I've seen everything! Just like that. It threw me for a loop, and I didn't know what to do. I now call them the Dragon Ball Hershey Kiss chicks because of this music video. I couldn't take it seriously, and when I came back to it a few months later, I took notice of the climactic vocal of Chocolate. And it's probably the funniest thing next to when Boyz II Men made singing about being gassy sexy.
In severe cases, chronic flatulence. So gassy, girl. So gassy.
It just works. I love it, and I take it to church every time when I sing it in the car. Alright, we're at the halfway point, and for this I wanted to go over what my patrons from Patreon felt about this topic when I asked them earlier this week on their own experiences. Before we get started, I do sincerely want to thank all of my patrons for supporting me in this last month and a half. It really means a lot in this tough time that I'm going through. Thank you so much. Anyways, Kat was the first to answer with Red Velvet's Happiness, saying it was a typical bubblegum pop song that she never really got into. I'll admit that I never downloaded this song myself, but I must say we can all agree that the crown jewel in that song is in fact Wendy's vocal bridge. So damn good, chills every time. Rachel shared several songs, one including EXO's Wolf, which makes me think twinsies. She also shared BAP's One Shot. That music video is something else. Definitely helped a lot of people discover that now classic song. And both Rachel and TLP also shared NCT 127's Fire Truck. I honestly don't have a comment. My opinion about that song still hasn't changed. Kimberly shared EXO's Lotto along with other NCT songs, Super Junior's Acha and Monsta X's Hero. I personally remember really liking Hero on my first watch because of the neat music video, and Acha is one I think is a severely underrated Super Junior song. It's one of the promo songs that really shows off the vocal line so well. Alright, move on to the next one, Beast, Shock. As someone who's into Pokemon, I must admit that the song was not very effective on me on my first experience. Every day I shock, every night I shock, shock! Okay, given the fact that this was a part of my first experience of K-pop when I decided to dive into it, I thought, oh dear, what have I got myself into? I can't show this to my friends. They're already judging me as it is. Once I finally became grounded, I realized I was unaffected by the electric attack, and I loved it. And if you're a Pokemon fan and understood that joke, then let's all cringe together. Okay, I'll move on. And the next one on my list, 2NE1's Fire. Some of you already know that I have confessed about initially hating this song. It's really only because I got into K-pop because I wanted to get away from American music. Starting in 2010, American music to me took a turn for the worse, and I was pretty much ready to move on and try something new. When I got into K-pop, I was attracted to all these new sounds and beats that I never heard in American music anymore, particularly them 80s sounds. After diving into different catalogs of the K-pop artists at the time, when I finally got to 21, Fire was the first one I heard from them, and I was like, oh god, am I a Mac in America again? The irony of me saying that when I was literally in America still. I passed on it because that wasn't the sound I was looking for at the time. And then about 6 months later, I came back around to 21 and gave this song another shot and realized, oh hey, this song is great. My bad, y'all. Moving on, 7 O'Clock's Echo. When it came to this one, I remember being severely repulsed by this sound in the chorus. Like, oh my god, what the hell is this noise? I hated it. Months later, I came back to it and eventually loved it. The song actually went on to become one of my top 10 favorite songs of 2017 too. I was a late bloomer, guys. Next up, SHINee's Why So Serious. Okay, this one is not exactly about the song itself, but more about the whole situation and how it was handled. A quick backstory in case you didn't know, SHINee was set to have their follow-up comeback with Why So Serious after Dream Girl in 2013. Member Jonghyun, may he rest in peace, got into a car accident and injured his nose. SM decided to continue with the comeback and shot the music video with the 4 members and began promotions without him. The song has 2 versions, and Jonghyun eventually joined them in the promotions a month later. I was just initially annoyed that they didn't delay the comeback, because it's not like SM hadn't done that before. I much prefer the version with 5 members if I'm being honest, and eventually loved the song a lot after I got over it. Shame though, because this song isn't all that highly regarded by Shawwalls, and I feel the comeback was tainted as a result of SM's decision. And finally, 2Yoon's 24/7.
Can you feel it? 24/7 모두 이끌어 get up 춤을 춰 몸이 부푼 달아올라 right off the piano.
As someone who is from Texas, I must admit that I was very skeptical and feeling a tad queasy at the thought of country music being influenced in K-pop. When it came time to the 2Yoon subunit debut from 4 Minute, I was like, please be good country. Please be the classic style of Shania Twain and Faith Hill, or even fucking 2008 Taylor Swift. Song starts, and we get some hillbilly ass banjo music. Oh, Lord Jesus. I ain't gonna stop that shit up with the biscuit to serve with some collard greens. This be some 2 whole down short of a hootenanny. Bless their hearts. Anyways, so yeah, 2 listens later, I was sold. Just let me grab my boots. Well, there you have it, folks. These are just 10 songs I dislike but now love. What are some K-pop songs you initially disliked but now like? I originally did this video topic many years ago on a video, and since I massacred my channel last weekend, I decided to redo this one in a voiceover style instead of just text that no one ever reads. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please be sure to hit those like, subscribe, and bell buttons for me. Support me on Patreon and follow me on my social media. Links are in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. While you're here, please be sure to check out many more of my works, and see you next time.